Welcome back to Afternoon Express. And yes, the show might be an hour long, but we're keeping our meal time in the kitchen, 15 minutes or less.
We are, and especially for some of us women who are constantly there dealing with those rascals that are asking and they don't stop and they just want and want and want, and you've got deadlines. Don't worry about that. 15 minutes is all you need for this recipe.
I'm so here for it already. Summer holidays are always a fun, carefree time for families. Obviously, excited to be spending precious quality time together. But for moms, the worry of keeping those appetites satisfied always lingers. Well, fret no more. Today, we're going to show you marvelous moms how to make a family meal that is not only super tasty, but quick and easy too. I'm talking about a Mediterranean simply chicken and couscous salad. Lead us to the promised land, Dumi.
I shall lead you, and I see a child looking at you wondering, why are you just saying moms? I think everyone at this point is on some.
I was going to say, you know, yes, there's mums and they all incredibly work hard, and yes, the little rascals are very demanding, but you know, the rest of us that all work, you know, we want our glass of wine as quickly as possible, you know, so...
Talk to me!
Absolutely, you know, but it is, sometimes you get to those moments, and there's days where, like, even I as a chef, as a foodie, you want to cook and you want to indulge and you want to go the extra mile. But there are days, and there are probably more days than cooking days actually, that you just want something quick and easy. And I think all our recipes, you know, are so great because you can just use what's in your fridge, you know, so adapt things. As I was, you know, saying early on, you know, if you haven't got tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. If you haven't got tomatoes, leave them up, but then start thinking, well, what else is that could be sweet that could sort of compensate for that, you know? And, you know, so you go on and you build that and just get creative, you know, at that. But I mean, I'm literally just going to start mixing all my ingredients together with couscous, peppers, red onions, olives, tomatoes, cucumber, chickpeas, feta. I'm just going to mix it all together whilst Tumi together bits and pieces.
All I need to do is I need 12 to 14 minutes because as per the packaging, this just needs 12 to 14 minutes to cook in the oven at 200 degrees, Balisa. And then we're going to ignore it. While I ignore it, Chef is going to get started with the rest of the recipe. It's very simple, very easy. We've got different flavors. I mean, the best part about it, Balisa, is that it is quick and easy to prepare. There's no pork, there's no added MSG. It is just real chicken. And it's the best part about it is you've got all those nutrients from the chicken itself.
I'm very excited to I don't want to say I want to taste the Simply Chicken because I feel like I grew up on Simply Chicken. I mean, at the end of the day, the end of the year for us as a family was always just about that. It was always about that family time. The cousins came over and we always had our household full, which meant groceries at the end of the day needed to be budget friendly, make it make sense for the entire family. But my mom wasn't like you, Dumi. She wasn't like those mothers who kind of was slaving away in the kitchen. My mother left us to our own devices. She was like, here's some Simply Chicken. It is quick, it is easy. You're not going to burn yourself. Put it in the oven. Boom, boom, boom. Easy to go. And this is exactly one of those recipes. For yourself, Chef Chart, what does this kind of recipe reminiscent of?
Well, I think, you know, this is, to me, is summer. You know, there's so much of wonderful fresh produce that becomes abundant and things that we don't get. I mean, I've just been harvesting your broad beans from the garden. And it's so wonderful just saying you don't see too often. You know, it's exceptionally seasonal, so you can add that in. And that starts to sort of sing through. The herbs, you know, all these lovely, delicate, soft herbs now. The basils, the corianders, the mint, they are in abundance. I mean, I literally just take your herbs and don't even worry about just cutting them. You know, we've got to be quick, we've got to get easy. Just throw them in there. Some lovely bits of parsley. Just tear everything, you know.
And what makes this specifically Mediterranean?
Well, I think your typical Mediterranean flavours, you know, the feta, cucumber, tomatoes, you know, starts, you know, straight coming to mind there. You know, we're going to have a lovely dressing that we're going to start adding into here as well. And those components that will make it Mediterranean, or, you know, what makes it French typically, you know, sort of butter and cream and things like that. But the Mediterranean are those wonderful sort of Greek-style kind of ingredients that we have a typical association with.
Yeah, and the smell as well.
Oh, absolutely.
It's already coming out.
Oh,
love
indeed.
that.
So we literally just got to sort of tear everything up. I mean, basil just, that just sort of screams summer on in a bowl and all of that. And literally just want to start, you know, just mixing all of that together and look at the vibrancy of this as you go. It really is spectacular to look at.
And Dumi, this is a masterclass at the end of the day, and I stay learning in the Afternoon Express loft. At the end of the day, you taught me something very interesting about couscous.
Yes, most people think that couscous is a grain, and in fact, it is actually, it's considered a pasta. It's considered a pasta because of the durum wheat and what actually is used to make it, but it's not really a grain, Chef, and I know a lot of people used to think that. But before we go into that, I just want to touch on the fact that my chicken is now cooked cooked, and how you know it's cooked, obviously after 14 minutes, is that it's got a beautiful crust, crunchy on the outside, beautiful and soft and tender on the inside. And because everything there is about a bite size, I also want to cut the chicken to that same size to make sure that you can get a spoonful of everything with one spoon.
So, and you know, with something like this, I mean, you know, talking about quick meals and, you know, getting ahead in advance, I make a really big batch of couscous, and then, you know, split it in half. Make one Mediterranean and one later on. You know, you could sort of do an Italian version or, you know, something completely different. So make it advanced, because couscous is so quick to do. You literally throw boiling water over to equal parts of couscous and water, cover it for 5 minutes, then take the cover off, rake it with a fork on top so you can separate the individual grains of couscous, cover it for another 5 minutes, and it's done.
And it is cooked to perfection. I mean, I just had a taste of the couscous. It's succulent, it's tender, but it's also not sticky, like clumping together in jingle poo. So that's not what we want.
But that's very important, to rake the couscous on top with a fork. So take it top, and you literally just sort of rake it layer by layer by layer, so you make sure you free everything up. You don't get stuck in there with a big spoon and start, you know, mixing.
Love that.
And then literally just take your lovely bits of chicken, you know, and place that on the top. If you, why not? Just sort of put it all on the top there. I mean, how simple, quick, and easy is that?
I'm definitely looking forward to enjoying more of that. The chicken is cooked to perfection, absolutely succulent, and the flavors truly do give me those Mediterranean vibes. Now, we all experience multitasking on a daily basis, but let's keep meal and snack time simple with Simply Chicken. To get your hands on this delicious recipe, please do visit afternoonexpress.co.za. These are definitely my type of recipes. Summer season is well on its way, and that's also what we're going to be mirroring in the next recipe, Dumi.
Yeah, we're still keeping into the summer flavor, keeping into the summer vibes, but also still keeping it all under 15 minutes.
And this is one of Chef's favorites, huh?
Well, it is. It actually is one of my favorites, my go-to in summer. I published in my cookbook, so absolutely.
I'm so here for it. Now we'll be enjoying some of the flavors and colors of Italy as we're making tomato basil pesto pasta when we come back.